I hope you all can hear me. I really, really, really hope you guys can hear me. I am so sorry that I'm late. I swear, like, the universe just doesn't want me to do a live stream at all whatsoever. Like, I was like, all right, today I'm going to do it. Today I'm just going to do the live stream. I'm going to get it over and done with. I'm just going to do it. And then, like, literally 5 minutes before I had to go live, all my electricity shut out, like all of it. It just went completely dead. So I had to go turn on my generator, plug in my Wi-Fi connection into the generator, and then get another cord from the generator in the back. Yeah, I know the donuts. I know. Leave me alone. It's been a hell of a morning. Um, I had to go plug in one of the plugs to the generator in the backyard, bring it all the way across my living room here into my bedroom to light up all these lights, to plug in my computer, everything. So I've got one plug going to my Wi-Fi router and then another plug coming in here into this bedroom to work. So we're going to see. I still have no electricity in the house. Everything is, I'm looking at my hallway right now. It's dark. So that I have my light switch on to let me know when the electricity comes back on. So yeah, completely, yes, Willie, completely different part of the house. I had to do it in my bedroom. There is no room for me to do it outside. It is, I mean, I don't know if you can really see too much, but it is just pouring rain out here in California. Everything's flooded out here. Even my kids' room is downstairs, pretty much what would be considered like a basement, but it's a whole ass like, it's a whole like a studio apartment down there. It flooded last night, so we had to pick everything up off the ground, like dressers, any kind of plugs, all that stuff. My kid's got about an inch, maybe an inch and a half of water down there in her bedroom. And then that was just yesterday. Okay, it's flooding right now. Like, it is ridiculous, and I'm up in the mountains, so like all of our houses are on this steep hill like that. So like anything that's under the house that's draining is going to like touch the very bottom of the houses, and that's where my kids' room is. So there's flooding. Just like I said, about 15 minutes ago, we ran out, or our electricity cut out. So I am literally doing this show right now from my bedroom with two ring lights and a generator. So we're going to see how well this is going to go. I'm extremely nervous and I'm super worried, but I know my computer can handle it. I know that my computer can do it. Let's just see what happens. So I bet it was the wolf spider showing of the power lines, right? Man, it's a hell of a morning, and I'm really not ready. I mean, I even thought like I'm so out of the loop on everything right now, and just so behind on everything that I even thought today was Willie's day to come. So I'm like giving him the StreamYard link. I even put him up on like my little thumbnail for the videos today. He's got his picture on there. I'm just like, I'm so out of it. I've got my like Les Bone was saying, I've got my donuts on today because I can't find my headphones, or like my little earpiece things. I can't find them at all, and I don't want to use the microphone for this because, dude, like that shit's like right in my face, like right there, and I fucking hate it. So man, and I curse too. Like, dang, I gotta stop cursing. YouTube, don't get mad at me. I can't help it. But yeah, so I've got to have the earphones, because if I just let the stuff play through my computer in here, then I've got to mute myself because it echoes. So I've got to have something in my ear to be able to hear what I'm showing you guys, because that way I can at least hear it, not have to mute myself, and be able to talk through, because YouTube's old and new terms. So that's going to be some fun today too. So sound is good. Okay, good. I have just the regular computer taking the sound today. So because my normal microphone, I have like a Yeti microphone. The cord broke on it like a few days ago, moving it from one place to another. So yeah, it's I like I said, it's been a hell of a day. It's been a hell of a week. I took like last week off just to get myself some like a mental health break a little bit, after like just all the stress of getting everything done for New Year's Eve all day stream, and all the stress that came along with all of that. I was like, I'm just going to take a mental health break. And then I come back and this is what happened. So I tried to, I remember like right and then also, well, also we've been on a strike too, which was really crazy because I tried to stream that day that we had this strike, and we couldn't be on YouTube. Like I wasn't, it was just like a blank screen. You guys could like all talk in the chat, but the screen was blank. So that was like our first day of a strike, which was absolutely insane. It was a 2-year-old video about Assange. They had already gave us a strike on it once, like a month and a half ago. And for the pretty much the same freaking thing. It said like misinformation, even though it was like a Julian Assange vigil video from 2 years ago. And this was like, so this was before I was even here. And so they already struck us once on it, and we fought the strike and we won that one. And so we had privatized that video. Like it was private or unlisted. I think it was private. Yeah. Cause we didn't even want it unlisted. We just left it private because, you know, we didn't want to delete. I think like Shane didn't want to delete anything. So the donuts are cool. Thank you. Yeah. Keep your fingers crossed, Willie, for sure. But yeah, so we ended up winning the strike. We kept it private, and so we just didn't touch it, and we completely forgot about it. Like we just went on with our lives, didn't even think about it anymore because, you know, whatever. And then all these new rules came like right before New Year's. I guess like YouTube changed up its rules and stuff, and was starting to demonetize and strike people for old videos all over again. And so they gave us the strike again on the same video like 2 days before the New Year's Eve stream. And so I went in there, and I mean, I'll pretty much take the fault for the strike staying there because it's still my fault. Like, even though I'm going to sit here and blame YouTube, I still like consider it still my fault. So I saw the strike again. I went and appealed the strike. And then when I was done appealing the strike, it was like things you can do, and then like a list of things you can do. And I was like, I was reading through them, and one of them was just to delete the video. So I was like, fine, okay, whatever. This is the second time we've got the strike on this. It's already going through the appeal process. I'm just going to delete the video. And, you know, they're YouTube. They can like, you know, figure it out because they've already struck us once for it and could see that, you know, we won that strike after appealing it. So I deleted the video. And then as soon as I was done deleting the video, like it popped up back to the main studio page, and it says, if in red under the video where it says there was a strike and it was appealing, in red underneath it says, if you delete this video, you cannot appeal it. And I was like, no effing way. So I tried like emailing YouTube. I tried replying to their emails. We tried adding them on Twitter. We did everything we could to get them to see like this was the second time they'd done it, and that, you know, we had deleted the video because it was one of the options, and so that we couldn't appeal it because I deleted it. And so we have to keep the strike. So now we have a strike on our record, and that stays there for, I guess they're saying like it stays for the next 3 months. I guess it stays forever, but like it pretty much just doesn't show up on your record anymore after 3 months, which is bullcrap because we just got monetized, you know, all this great stuff. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, just get monetized, and this is what they do to us. Like YouTube was like, it's like worse than a job. At least at a job, you know, you're going to get your paycheck, you know. So this shit really, really sucks, having to deal with this strike and having to deal with all the stuff that comes with it. Also, the new rules that is out on YouTube right now, like you can't even say a single curse word for like the first 8 to 10 seconds, which doesn't really matter to me because I got like a 2-minute long song at the beginning of the show for the buffer. So that kind of helps out a lot. But the new rule about cursing throughout the show, that's going to be really hard for me because I'm going to have to really, really try not to. I've already messed up twice today on my video. So I'm hoping I don't say any more curse words anymore. But man, is that hard. Like I was saying yesterday in a chat, those are really, really sneaky words. So we'll see. I'm scared, but it's all right, man. As you can see behind me, I'm going to keep this window open so you guys can all see this crazy ass weather that's going on today. As you can see, the trees are blowing right now really bad. And these aren't just like, you know, regular small little tiny trees. These things are like, you know, 100 feet tall. So they're super tall and scary when they wave in the wind, because it's not the bottom part that you're seeing waving in the wind right now. You're seeing like the middle part because they're still up like a higher part of the trees. These are like practically Christmas trees. They're like pine trees. So They get very, very tall. And then when they wave in the wind and it's nuts. So yeah, that's you were policing yourself Saturday night with the curse words too. Yeah, I know. It's getting out of hand, and it's already starting to feel like a job instead of something, something fun. So welcome to the wonderful world of capitalism and privatization of things. So that's how that goes. So it looks like so far I'm doing good. I don't see like any lag on my part. It seems like everything's running fine so far. And my cat keeps wanting to sit on my lap and I don't want her to. Stop. Miss Izzy, you need to chill. She just wants to sit on my lap today. That's all she wants to do. So yeah, this is my bedroom, you guys. I'm pretty much sitting on my bed right now. And she ends up winning and sits on my lap anyway. Okay. I don't have a package. I just got a text message. Hey, Willy. I think this is your phone, Willy, because I swear to God, I still get like a text message. I get like, those spam text messages on your phone. Like they're just like, I think they think that I'm a guy or something, but it always says Willy. It always says Willy. My phone always says like, I get text messages like, see, Willy, USPS, your package is on hold and will expire on January. Track here. And then it's like some kind of weird website. So I think I own your phone, Willy. uh, okay. But yeah, no, this is my bedroom. Sorry, I'm like reading some stuff, trying to get everything back in order now that I'm back online again. Okay. I'll worry about that after the show. So this is my bedroom. I'm hanging out on my bed because I don't know what else to do. This is like the only safe spot I feel for right now. So you guys get to hang out in my room. Like here's my mirror. Here's my little drawing that I did back in the day when I used to be like artistic and like, in real life art. So I like to keep my art sitting around to remind myself that, hey, Jimmy, you're still talented. So that's my little art. It's supposed to be like an Alice in Wonderland checkered floor room with like these cool red walls. And then through like right there is a doorway, like a cool little weird doorway. And then in behind the doorway is a hill with some trees and a little, like, you can't see it because it's so far away, but a little Jack Skellington is has his hands in his head and he's walking up the mountain into the hills into the mountains. So it's my little mixture of like Alice in Wonderland and Nightmare Before Christmas drawing that I did a long time ago. I think I did that back in like 2014 or something. So yeah, this is my bedroom. So I'm getting hit by the yeah, absolutely. I was just talking about that a little bit ago. I am literally running my house right now. Well, not running my house, but at least running the Wi-Fi and the lights and my computer right now on a generator because we just lost electricity about 5 minutes before I had to go on the show today right now. So I keep looking at my hallway, still have no electricity. So we've got no electricity. My kids' room, which is like the bottom floor here, has got about an inch and a half of rain down there. So my kids' room is flooding out. So last night we had to go pick up everything off the floor and put it up into a higher area. So we're flooded. We have no electricity. And I am running on hopes and prayers right now mentally. So yeah, that's how we're going. Good to see you, Ed. It is National Pizza Week. I did have pizza this week, yes, but it is my favorite pizza, which is the white pizza. I know Warren always calls me a racist when I say that because I love the Alfredo sauce pizza. You put the some like feta cheese, some some spinach and some olives on there, and it's to die for. So yes, I did have some pizza this week, just my kind of pizza because it's my favorite. So you did eat pizza for lunch today, Les Bones? All right, thank you, Holly. I do love my drawing. You were an art major for 20 minutes at ECU. You went back declaring history as the major again. The 1990s. I know, the 1990s. I wish I was a grown up in the 90s. That would have been a lot of fun. I was a kid in the 90s, so I definitely got to experience the last tail end of like, free living for children, like the whole don't come home until the street lights turn on, kind of thing. We were able to free to just run around and run amok, without shoes, running in the deserts and stuff, because I grew up in the high desert. So we always like ran around in the desert, trying to do stuff like finding wild animals and catching them, like from lizards to owls, all that kind of stuff. So I really enjoyed being a kid in the 90s, because I feel so bad for my child now. Like my kids, man, they don't understand the kind of freedom that we had back in the day, for sure. So yeah. You're gonna make pizza for dinner tonight, Shaken? That's right. Your 20s were the 1990s. So lucky, so lucky. Willie is a living art installation. That's fucking right. He is. That's so right. I know. It's what everyone says. Even like the Do Dissidents guys, they were wanting to get a hold of Willie to do like an interview with them, or to like, I don't know, maybe they even want to like bring him onto their platform, and I don't know what they were wanting to do, but they had brought up how unique Willie looks, and I've been trying to tell people that. I'm like, yo, Willie's got like the coolest, most unique look I've ever fucking seen. He is like super, super individualistic. I absolutely love Willie's look. Yeah, I know. I think I'm slightly jealous because I'm like so basic and regular, So I'm like, Willie, hook us up with some of those cool ass looks. Is it the glasses? Like, is it the SpongeBob glasses? Because I'll fucking rock those things. I will. I will. And there I go, saying a bad word again. God dang it, I did it again. I didn't know it was well, I knew it was National Pizza Week yesterday because I don't know what happened. I think it was Warren or Les Phones yesterday. They started some kind of Twitter spatter over pizza. And then like Ed Heller came in last night and just started whomping on us with some pizzas. Because we were talking yesterday about like how New York City pizza was better. And I was like, if it doesn't fold like a taco, I don't want it. And Warren was saying something about New York pizza's good because you don't have to be a swimmer to to dive in. Dude, yesterday was so funny on Twitter with that shit. So Ed came up in there with like it's National Pizza Week. So that's what I found out was yesterday was National Pizza Week, because Ed just came in yesterday on Twitter with like a bunch of really awesome, really delicious looking deep dish pizzas. Like I did not realize how much cheese they put in that thing. Like, oh God, there's so much cheese. I want that heart attack, I really want that heart attack. So yeah. Next Monday you interview Do Dissidents. Well, they really, really like you over there. They were like really wanting to get a hold of you. So they're I don't know. I don't talk to them. I've never said anything to them. So I don't know how they are. But they seem pretty nice. I don't know. I'm not much of a cloud chaser, so I don't go out and like talk to them and be like, hey, want to be on my show kind of thing, because I'm too shy and I'm not much of a clout chaser. So I'd rather just, if they're interested, they can ask, kind of like how they did with you. So I was like, yeah, no, that's cool. But I don't really know them that much. But that is way cool that they're hanging out with you. They remind me of when I do watch them. They remind me of like sportscasters. The way that they talk, like they have that like very like serious newsy sound to them. It's really interesting. Well, that one does. The younger guy does. I think his name is Keaton. Yeah, because I used to know a little kid named Keaton, so that's how I remember. I think that's the guy. He reminds me of a sportscaster. Now the older gentleman, he he reminds me more like, okay, so he doesn't really like I always think he's stoned when I see him. I think that he's high as a kite, which is really great and really fun. But when I see them two together, now that I've watched them a little bit more, um, on not too much on their show, but like on other shows, and like seeing them at the New Year's Eve panels and stuff like that. When I see those two together, it reminds me of Rick and Morty. I don't know if it reminds you guys of that, but like just the way that like their look and their banter back and forth, and like the way that they are together, like their friendship, it reminds me of Rick and Morty, and it's really, really funny. It's cool. Uh, there's no way, Willie. No, 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 no. Don't put up my ego like that. You are super unique, and Jesus Christ, trust me. that being pretty, the whole like pretty privilege stuff, man, at least in my head, it's nothing like, I like the unique individualistic people that stand out from the crowd. To me, I just feel like, like another pretty face, and I don't want to be another pretty face. I love your look. Your look is fucking unique. Oh God, I'm obsessed. Yeah. Warren secretly wants to swim in a deep dish pizza. Very true. Most likely. I mean, if for that one GIF that you sent out yesterday, the video with like it pulling up and seeing all that cheese coming out of it, I would definitely want to swim in that for sure too. So, 90s kids, 90s kids, the only generation that started with landline phones and maybe a dial-up computer, and by college it was all in your hand. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That was a really fun change though. Like we were so into it. We were wanting to have that, being able to me it was like my family and I were taking a trip. I think we were taking a trip up to Bakersfield, California for something. And I had just gotten a cell phone. It was like a month before I graduated from high school, I think. So it was already like 2003 before I ever got my first cell phone. But it was such a cool thing for me to be able to travel on the road and be able to talk to my friends, like text message or calling them. Like I thought that was when it hit me. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. A lot of us kids really ran up the phone and the bills and stuff, going over minutes, going over text messages, because back then, it was like um, you can only have like a certain amount of minutes you can talk, or a certain amount of text messages, or like free nights and weekends. You had to wait for the night and weekends, like 7 or 9 o'clock or something like that. So I remember all of that, which was interesting. But then I also remember like growing up as a kid, like as a little kid in the 90s, going to my grandma's house and wanting to, let's say like I was at my grandma's house and I wanted to call my friend from a couple blocks over to see if they wanted to hang out. I would have to go into my grandma's room and use the dial-up phone, like the rotary, not dial-up, sorry, the rotary phone where you have to like, and then wait for it to go back, and then, and wait for it to go back. So I've had to do that as well, which I actually thought that those phones were cool. I would leave the actual phone part on and just play with it and watch it go back. I always thought that those phones were really cool. And then you had the little touch thing, and then you had the one in your hand where you could dial the buttons, and those were back in the day where you used to like call a phone number to get your daily horoscopes, or you could like star 67 to hide your phone number and make prank calls to other people. Man, those were the wild days. Those were a lot of fun. Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, Keaton is his name. Russell reminds you. Is that the other guy's name? Is Russell? Okay, reminds you of an actor, and then I found out he owns theaters. So he's like a fellow thespian. I did not know that. That's very interesting. So if he owns the theaters, does he just like have people come in and do plays and stuff at his? Does he actually own the theater itself, or damn, he's rich. Does he own the theaters, or does he like run companies that are allowed to use these theaters, like theater companies, like acting companies and stuff? Because I used to work and volunteer for acting companies, like I used to work for or volunteer for It's Only Tuesday Productions, and they would always have plays at our local town city theater, the Lancaster Performing Arts Center. And that's where we would do our plays there. And sometimes we would be in the black box. Sometimes we would be on the main stage, depending on how big the play was. Like when we did Wizard of Oz, that was on the main stage. But then when we did what was the play called? Little Women, the play, not the movie, the play, the musical. We did it in the black box. So yeah, does he own like actual theaters, or does he own like production companies that are allowed to play in the theaters? You dig the dark hair. Yeah, I know. I'm like lacking on it though, as you could tell. Like it's been this long since I've dyed my hair again, so I got to redo it for sure. Gen X remembers there was no phone or internet. Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, the rotary phones way into the 1980s. Your parents who were always antiquated. Yeah. Your understanding is that he owns a theater company and two theaters. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Oh, well, that's cool though. I wonder what the name of his theater company is. That'd be interesting. I always like to know the theater companies. Like I said, the one that I worked at was called It's Only Tuesday Productions, and I've still to like to this day when people are like, "God, what day is it?" and they're like, "Man, it's only Tuesday." I always like, "It's Only Tuesday Productions." I remember. It always stuck in my head. So I really enjoy the things that people come up with, like their theater companies or their media companies like Warren, like the War Deer Entertainment. I That's so unique and so individualistic, even like mine too. So like I really enjoy mine because mine's I think it's like not Jimmy Saves World, but right under there, like the Image Productions. Like it's my name backwards. So Jimmy, if you put it backwards, I mean it would be like image, but you just like pronounce it like image, it's cool, like image, like it's a media company. I work on graphics and art stuff, so Image Productions, like we work with images. So I always thought, if you remember, you can ask. Okay. You don't have to worry about asking him or anything. He doesn't even, they don't even know who I am, so it's not even a big deal. I was just curious. Yeah, but if you talk to him and if you can remember, or if you do remember, just yeah, like I'd just be cool to hear like what his company name is. Actually, you know what? When you go onto his show, I'll just go into the comment section and I'll ask myself. That's not a big deal. I can go in the comment section and ask. I don't even know why I'm having you ask. That's so weird and creepy and like high schoolish. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that to you, Willie. You're cool. Don't overexert yourself. Poor Willie, man. He gets like so he gets he worries so much that he's gonna like mess up all the time. Like he's like always afraid he's gonna be the guy in trouble. I feel like that, and I just want you to know, Willie, that you are awesome and you are amazing, and you have never done anything wrong yet. So I don't want you to feel like the ball's gonna drop one day ever, because you're freaking awesome. Sorry, I got my kitty. I just got a new cup and I just took the tag off of it, and now Kitty wants to Kitty wants to play. Oh, Miss Izzy. Yeah, she's playing. You guys want to see my new coffee cup I just got? Look at this. It says, of course, me, aren't you scared? And then it's got Lock, Shock, and Barrel on it. I'm so excited. And it is a cauldron. So, no, Mr. Burton. See, if you look at the bottom, it's got like the three little thingies under here. So like a cauldron, and it comes down to, a little circular thing right here. So it's like a cauldron. It's my cauldron coffee cup. I'm so excited. All right, let's get into some news. Let me check the comments really quick before we get into some of the news, because there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. And I was really hoping, because I was like going through some of the stuff, I was really hoping Willie would be here, so I got some like somebody to banter back and forth with. But that's all right. That's all right. Grandma still had rotary phones and black and white TVs. Still got the Nintendo hooked up to it. Yeah, do you remember that? So funny too is my grandma was the same way. Like, even though it was the 90s, my grandma still loved watching all of her old shows, so she would have all of her old stuff on VHS. So like, even though I grew up in the 90s, I grew up watching like Betty Boop cartoons and old Looney Tune cartoons and Shirley Temple movies. I grew up with all of like the black and white, you know, pre the Technicolor stuff. And it's still really interesting because like now I'm a grown up, and so like I get to see all that as a grown up. Like even some of the newer stuff at the time too, I guess I still watch, because my grandma really loved Michael Jackson, so I watched that Michael Jackson movie a lot. My grandma really loved the California Raisins, so I watched a lot of the California Raisins movies. We really liked the Disney sing-along. So like any of the Disney movies, which back then they were all musicals. So like Disney would compilate like, a song from each cartoon movie or a real movie, and then they would be the sing-along song. So I had like all the VHSs for that. And just a lot of like never really kept me up to date with what was going on the TV. It was a lot of just watching a lot of movies. If my grandma was to watch something that was live or new, most of the time it would either just be ice skating, like the professional stuff, or even the fun stuff. She really loved the ice skating stuff, and then she really loved wrestling, which was really weird to me. Like I remember watching a lot of WWE, WWF wrestling. We used to have Hulk Hogan posters in my room. It was nuts. And still to this day, like I don't even watch wrestling anymore, but still to this day, like I'll keep up with it just to see all the, because the people there are unique as well. Like the characters in there are very unique. So I really like to keep up with that. So yeah. Uh, you were a Nintendo gaming on a black and white TV when you were a kid too. I started doing that. I started doing the playing Nintendo on the black and white TV, but then I don't remember playing it like that for very long because my mom had me at a young age, so she wanted to try to be a little bit, on the cool side. So we had a color TV not too long afterwards. So definitely do remember the black and white. I just couldn't get into it though. Like playing Duck Hunt when it was black and white, it just wasn't very interesting to me. I didn't really like it very much. So having the color was definitely a lot of fun. And I did love playing Nintendo, but I would always cheat like Duck Hunt, where you would have the, you go get the, like you buy the Nintendo gun. And so you didn't want to miss the duck. So you just stick the gun like right onto the TV and follow the fucking gun and just shoot. Like I was cheating even back when I was a kid. You gotta see, that's so cool. You got to watch all like the cool horror stuff. My grandma did not like that. My grandma loved wrestling and, like I said, skating and the old musical kind of movies, Betty Boop, stuff like that. So I wasn't allowed to watch any of the horror stuff. And so now as a grown up, like I'm obsessed with horror. My favorite movie is Nightmare Before Christmas. Like I've seen almost every horror movie. It's very hard for me to get scared. I'm very like, I'm one of those, like fake gothic, I love scary stuff kind of people now. So, and I blame that all for my parents and my grandparents not allowing me to watch scary movies when I was growing up because I wanted to so bad, which is crazy because now I'm a grown up and I'm obsessed with it. So I was like, all right, when I have kids, I'm going to have, I'm going to let them watch all this stuff. And both of my kids did not like scary stuff. Like, I think it was just this last Halloween, just this year alone, my 14-year-old finally went through her first haunted house where she wasn't scared. Craziest shit I've ever experienced. I'm like, I give you guys horror and now you don't even want it. It makes no sense. When you were finally able to hook up a Nintendo to a color TV, it was like, oh, this Mega Man guy changes colors. Right. I know. I was so excited to see what color Mario and Luigi. I did not know that Mario and Luigi were different colors. Or like the Mario, not Mario and Luigi, because you couldn't play Luigi in the first one. Mario, and how he changed colors when he was like, when he would get the flame thing, or then he would change colors with the tail when he could fly. Like that was really cool to me. And then seeing like just the colors of it, like from the main first level to going into the dungeons to going into the deserts and seeing the different colors, that was really amazing for me. So did you watch any movies on the imaginary list? No, not yet. I have not watched them yet. I do need to. I did watch a B-rated horror flick this weekend. So I bought the video game that just came out called High on Life. It's from the creators of Rick and Morty. And in that game, I guess they licensed like a few uh, old school 90s B-rated flicks. So I was able to actually sit down and watch one of them, which was called Demon Winds. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. I watched the whole fucking thing, and oh, there I go cussing again. Dang it! I'm gonna get in trouble so much. I'm gonna get us in trouble. We're just demonetized. I'm sorry, KRTD, but if you, I'm just gonna get us demonetized from here on out. If you guys want to catch me over at Image Productions on Twitch, go check me out over there too. That way I don't have to worry about getting in trouble over there. But yeah, I watched a movie called Demon Winds, and it was really lame. I mean, it was unique and individualistic, and I appreciated the thought of going in. But from what I heard, they like wrote the movie in a week or something like that, and they very low budget and stuff. So I got to see Demon Winds. I haven't seen that. very corny, cringy, 1990s B-rated horror flick. It was pretty lame. But no, I haven't. If you guys, I need you guys to like make it like somewhere, like in a Twitter DM or something, because I'm never gonna remember the names. Never gonna remember the names. So, yeah, you can swear. You just can't swear constantly. Okay, okay. I've already said a bad word 4 times in the last 44 minutes. That's like 1 every 10 minutes. Is that regular? Is that constant? That's consistent to me because I have to pay attention now. All right, should we do some news stuff? I think we should probably do some new stuff, most likely. So then update it, make a Google Doc and bookmark it, and then update it when you want. Very true. Guess I can do that. Yeah, we're just gonna have to re-go over the list again though, because I can't remember any of what the movies were. Shit, I could just right here go into my Google Doc for my What show, because I look at that every freaking day. Okay. I do want to get into a little bit of the news before the day is over. So let's do some natural weather stuff, since we're talking about how crazy it is going on right here in California. You did that with the Chicago Corner thing. We bring it up on screen once in a while and update it live. Ooh. Okay. And then always just keep you guys updated. Like, I've seen this one. I haven't seen this one yet. Okay. I can do that. I'll just start adding it to my What doc, because I always have that up. And I'll just make a second page on there and then bring it up to you guys. So news stuff should be the segment name every time you start to cover the news. I know that, right? My show's already called What. Might as well. All right. We are getting into some news stuff right now. Here we go with the news stuff. Lady! I swear I own a Chiweenie, and she likes tunneling. They love tunneling. They love to tunnel. They love to dig. They love to tunnel. So she's right here under the blanket next to the computer. She does one little small fucking movement, man, and my whole laptop just bloop, done. Okay, new stuff. So this one was this. I believe this was yesterday, either yesterday or the day before, January 9th. So yesterday, people were posting up on Twitter about a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake in Indonesia. Now this stuff, I almost did it again. So this stuff is crazy, what happened over there, because they actually caught this live on camera, and the way that they moved and the way that it was moving was wild to me. And so I wanted to show you guys what it looked like. So here we go.
地震，等一下先不要放手，地震。
Crazy, right?
哇，超夸张的。
这个有7级了吧？
超过
了。
来再震哦，等一下。你看那个山的声音都出来了。
趴着就好，趴着。
Still moving.
那是落石呢。
Yeah, I'm gonna show it again. Check that out.
地震。
Just look at the way the ladies start moving. I mean, could you even imagine? So you're just standing. I mean, I can, because I've lived in California my whole life, so I know how this is. But man, oh man, seeing it on camera, because they get some theirs out there is way bigger than the ones we get here. I mean, we've had like 6.0s and stuff like that out here before, but man, the way that theirs shakes around is insane. Like, here's another one. So just watching the power lines, or if you are not the power lines, but the street lights, like, see how they're wiggling? It's crazy. You've been through one earthquake in 2011 on the East Coast, and it was so minor you didn't even notice it. What was really funny to me watching this one is this lady that comes like walking by right here, and then she like just goes and sits down like nothing's going on, while other people are like, oh my God, like look at that pole. It's just shaking. This lady right here, she like comes over here and then just like sits down right here and is like, oh well. Like, oh God, here we go. Here's another one. That was the lady that I paid attention to last night, that while these people were all running. But yeah, you're right. I've lived through the couple of big ones that we had in California in the 90s. And it's really funny is the first one happened like in the morning when I was already awake. So it, I felt it. I thought it was I kind of understood that it was an earthquake because I knew what earthquakes were, because we would have earthquake drills in school when I was a kid. But for some reason, like, it didn't register while it was going on, that it was an earthquake. Kitty, stop. To me, I thought it was my parents, because we lived in a trailer at the time. And so I thought it was like my mom shaking the trailer back and forth. But the next one that happened, I think that was when it was the Northridge earthquake, the big one. I actually slept through it. So I don't even I don't even remember that one. I literally got woken up after it was done, and my mom's like, there was an earthquake. You didn't feel that? And I'm like, no, I'm sleeping. And so she's like, fine, go back, go back to sleep, kid, kind of thing. So I was like, okay. It didn't even faze me. It was nothing to me. So that, yeah, it's very interesting, because if you're not used to them, they're terrifying. But if you deal with them all the time, they're not really that scary. It's just they're cool to watch, though, for sure. Definitely cool to watch. Here's a little video. I think this was happened. It says like Indonesia earthquake tremors or felt all the way in Darwin, and I believe Darwin is in Australia, because this is like Australian news. So this is how bad the earth. So I think some of this video is going to be showing as Australian news as well.
Wind has been rattled by tremors after a powerful 7.6 magnitude earthquake struck off Indonesia's coast. The quake hit the Tanimbar region between East Timor and Indonesia early this morning. Residents in Darwin, which is about 550 kilometres from the epicentre, were shaken.
Okay, so there's Darwin right over here in this area. So yeah, I guess that's like northern Australia, like northern tip of Australia. But it really hit this area pretty dang hard. I mean, look, there's an island right there. It even got hit harder. There was even tsunami warnings afterwards.
Taken awake, capturing the drama on their phones. There were over 2,000 reports of tremors across northern Australia, felt as far away as Tennant Creek. The quake erupted at a depth of 97 kilometres below the Banda Sea. And while there's no tsunami warning for Australia, parts of Indonesia have been evacuated.
Yep.
And among those caught up in the chaos is Olympic champion and
So
former
it was an earthquake that happened underwater. She was saying like 90-something kilometers underwater. So this was a under ocean seismic activity, which usually brings the increase in tsunami warnings. Japan has to deal with that a lot because they're right next to a fault line. They're not on it. They're like right next to it, but it's in the ocean. So that's why they deal with a lot of tsunamis, is because a lot of, and in Japan and all of those islands over by Australia as well, they deal with a lot of tsunamis because there is a lot of fault lines there under the sea, and those are what causes tsunamis more than above ground one. Above ground ones usually just cause nothing. Just it's the earthquake and that causes major damage and things like that. But it's the underwater ones that bring in the tsunamis. So it's scary.
Senator Nova Peris, who joins us now. Nova, thanks for joining us. First of all, what did it feel like?
Oh my God, it felt like a steam train coming a million miles an hour. I've never felt anything like this ever. I've probably been through about 6, 7 earthquake tremors, whatever you like to call it, over the time that I've lived here in Darwin. I've never felt anything like it. It was just absolutely incredible. And I just sat there with the fear, just frozen, because the house was just shaking so violently.
Nova, when do you know that it's safe to kind of get up, and then what happens next? Do you sort of walk around the house inspecting for things that have smashed?
Yeah, well, one of the dogs started barking, and then I sat up, and then my husband, obviously we both sat up together in the bed. Everything was just shaking.
You hear that? Her dog started barking. That's why it's always good to have pets around, especially when you're in earthquake areas, because they know. They can tell it's going to happen before we do. So it's always good to have a pet around, for sure, especially in earthquake areas.
And then my auntie, who's staying with us at the moment, she was downstairs and she came out and she was screaming, Nova, Scott, we've got an earthquake. And my husband was like, I'm coming, because things just started falling off the walls. And I've got a couple of heavy trophies, which are, I guess, sort of like heavy plastical, and they had fallen off the shelves. And Scott's like, I'm coming. I'm like, no, don't leave me. And it was just absolutely incredible. And I'm still sort of shaken up a bit about it now. And it's obviously, everyone's safe here in Darwin, and, the houses are cyclone coated and we can withstand so many of Mother Nature's disasters. But to have that earthquake and it shakes so violently, and
yes, Lotta, absolutely.
I went downstairs after it stopped, because that was the other thing. You're just sitting there waiting, thinking, okay, we've had other tremors before, it lasts 30 seconds, 40 seconds, but this went for about 3 minutes. It was just continuous. And anyway, when I went downstairs, my auntie was down there and we're both just looking at each other. I said, look at my hands. I was just shaking. And my husband went out the streets with the dogs, and there was quite a few neighbors.
So yeah, I mean, if she's been through enough of these and is saying that this one felt way crazier than the rest of the ones that she's been through, then yeah, this must have been a significant one. I mean, 7.7 is pretty goddamn strong as it is, but for somebody who's gone through, she said 6 of these already, and this is just the craziest one that she's ever felt, it must have been a significant sized earthquake for sure. Yeah, Lana, I got you. I was going to bring it up today. I have it in my list of things to talk about too. So don't worry, I got you.
Out, and they're all sort of shaken up about it. So
wow, it's huge. I mean, we often hear about earthquakes lasting only seconds, but 3 minutes, that's a prolonged. If you think the house is going to sort of collapse around you, and I'm sure residents all around, business owners alike, were checking on things throughout the day. 3
minutes is a long time for an earthquake. Usually when I have to deal with earthquakes and stuff, man, it maybe a minute long, and then you've got the after tremors too, but those are like throughout the rest of the day, and they're only like 10-15 seconds long. So a 3 minute long earthquake, man, that must have felt like it was never going to stop ever, because after a minute or so, like, you're just like, because I swear time slows down when you're in an earthquake, because you're like waiting for things to stop moving, and watching to pay attention if anything's going to fall and stuff. So yeah, after a minute and a half, even 2 minutes, you're like, God damn, is this ever going to stop? This is absolutely terrifying. Then your brain starts wondering, like, are we going to go off into a cliff? Is there going to be sinkholes? What's going to happen? Is my house going to crash on us? It's time to get everything out. It gets really scary once a certain amount of time passes by, I'm pretty sure.
And still are.
Yeah, well, that was it. I sort of felt like I didn't want to leave the bed, and I'm just sitting there waiting for the roofs to start sort of collapsing in, because you don't know what to do. We've never sort of been in a situation, I think, in the top there where things have sort of caved in, but because it was shaking.
This is crazy. I didn't even watch this last night. I just threw it on because I knew it was from Australia and all this stuff. So I'm kind of like, just going off of what my feelings would be if this happened. She's just go ahead, repeat my stuff. So I love it.
So violently. That's what I had thought, and it's the unknown, which is the so fearful thing. But to come downstairs and sort of look around to see what sort of, if there were damages, cracks in the wall. But yeah, it was just incredible. And my heart can only ever go out to anyone who's experienced earthquakes where they've lost everything in life. So you know, it was absolutely terrifying to say the least, and something that I've never experienced before.
Oh, Sissy, I'm glad you survived, and thank you for coming on to Midday to tell us your tale of survival. I hope everyone's okay in Darwin. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, well, thank you, and yeah, thinking of everyone.
That's absolutely terrifying. I couldn't, man. I mean, I could imagine because I've gone through it myself, but man, oh man. It's absolutely terrifying to see what they're going through. Let me see if anything else has come up about it. Anything new, I guess you would say. Yeah, because it's always just like the same stuff. Like the same videos over and over again. Yeah, it's oh, there was this one too I wanted to show. So they were warning about
hit around 2 a.m. local time on Tuesday. Residents in the Northern Territory have felt tremors after this strong earthquake struck in the Banda Sea.
the tsunami.
People took to social media, claiming they felt shaking for around 1 minute in Darwin.
I don't know why it's showing that.
And at these moments,
I just wanted to show like the
hit around
like the waves and stuff that was showing. I'm gonna continue to look through, but because it's like earthquakes for some reason, it's a lot of TOS stuff. Hey, there's a girl that's dancing on a pole. I miss pole dance. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here's another one. So this is looks like some cracks that happened. This was in Indonesia at the Tanimbar Islands, Banda Sea. Their entire road. Oh my God, look at that's terrifying. I mean, I'm pretty sure, God damn, that's from the earthquake. It just completely cracked the thing in half. I mean, look, these are the people standing next to how big this is. Like, it's huge. This whole street just collapsed. It's absolutely terrifying what happened. I don't understand why Twitter is full of bad stuff. So yeah, I can't show anymore because it keeps just going up to like dirty stuff, and I don't want that. So yeah, that's what happened in Indonesia. I think it was either Monday or yesterday. Wait, yesterday was Monday, right? I don't know what day it is anymore. Yeah, yesterday was Monday. So it happened sometime either yesterday or the day before, but I just saw the news about it yesterday. So I just wanted to show you guys how scary it is to live out there in places like that, especially where the fault lines are underwater. That's where it becomes really scary, because not only are you getting this underwater shaking, which makes it more of like a roll kind of feel, but you also get the tsunamis that come afterwards. Unlike, you know, up like, yeah, here in California we have a fault line, but the fault line is in California on land, like above sea level, except for when you get up to like, you know, Oregon and Washington, it starts to get into the ocean more. But out here where it's I think where I live, I'm about 15 miles up the mountain, so away from the San Andreas fault line, but it's at the bottom of the mountain that I live at. So like when I have to go down the mountain and go into town, I have to cross over it to the other side. So I mean, I'm not too far away from it. I'm just on the east side of it, not the west side of it, because I'm like really even though I've lived in California my whole life, and I'm still very iffy about earthquakes and stuff. I still get a little worried about being too close and stuff, because I do remember the news images of the Northridge earthquake and stuff and everything that happened with the freeways. So I do worry about it. So I always try to keep myself on the east side of the fault line, at least in my living conditions. I try to keep myself on the east side of it. But I feel like because I am so close and it's above ground, it won't be more of a rolling thing. It would be more of a jolt back and forth because I'm so close. So yeah, but there's like quite a few different fault lines too. Like we have the main San Andreas fault, and then there's all these ones that kind of like splinter off of that one that are named different ones that do pretty decent damage. I mean, even Ridgecrest, which is I think about 2 hours north of where I live, a couple of years ago, they had a pretty decent earthquake. I think that was in the 6th range. So yeah, it's terrifying to live. I look like I'm in a church. Oh no. Whatever. It could be the Church of Satan. Anyway, so yeah, it's just a terrifying thing to live through, and it's scary. And hearing, that it was a really long time that they had to deal with it, and then the tsunami warning afterwards. It's got to be like the worst of the worst. I couldn't even imagine. So that's that. I know that Lana wanted me to talk about, what is it? The Speaker of the House thing, which I believe I do have something about it. So I do want to talk about it a little bit. So this last week when I was on break, the Republicans in the House had like 15 votes, I think they got up to get Kevin McCarthy to be Speaker of the House, House Majority Speaker. And after the 15th round, he finally got enough votes to win through what they call concessions. Concessions are things that people in the House can ask for the Speaker of the House to consider, or to give them special committee spots when he becomes in charge. So that was seemed to happen. Now what's coming out is a lot of the concessions. What was in those? Who's going to be able to get what? I know a lot of people were all in a hoopla about Marjorie Taylor Greene asking for concessions, but I don't think she's getting anything, because she was going for McCarthy from the get-go. She was pretty much going for him. Maybe Matt Gaetz might have gotten something, and Lauren Boebert, because they were in like this little tussle last week on the one of the nights of voting. When I started paying attention, it was the last night of voting, and I think they had just gotten through the 14th, and he hadn't won. So then there was like this little tussle between Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz with Kevin McCarthy and some other guy, where he had to get like his face pulled back because he like was pointing his finger, just like PG-13 rated politics, compared to like I believe it's like in China when they get into like arguments and stuff in their public buildings like that, they're the political buildings like that, man, they fucking throw, there I go again, they throw fists. It's crazy. So that happened, and then I think what happened is he ended up giving up and giving into some concessions, and so he ended up winning. And then there was there's this big, fights that's been going on this whole weekend about, Jimmy Dore being right and Brianna Joy Gray being right, and, TYT and all the rest of them still saying that, that this isn't the way to do it, because during the Force the Vote, we were saying, the squad could do the same by withholding their votes until they got some concessions, which they didn't do, which is completely right. So that's all that's happening. But I wanted to go over the concessions, some of them. I just had it up and then I took it away. I'm so sorry. because tonight, I believe tonight, here on KRTD Media, they're going to be having a panel talking about this, about the concessions. Here, Lana said to discuss the Speaker of the House vote and what he agreed to get elected. So his, like I was saying, his concessions. That's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Today on KRTD Media. I don't know who's all going to be on that, but we will see. It sounds pretty interesting. So definitely keep your eye out for that. Ow, cat. Jesus Christ. Man, she is in a mood today. So here is Newsweek talking about it. So they're talking about 5 of the concessions that Kevin McCarthy gave up to win. So it was talking about was finally elected Speaker of the House following a grueling battle. The California representative's task was made difficult. He struggled through 15 ballots. We just talked about that. Good morning, Amber. Good to see you. I mean, Amber, Brandy. Sorry. Good morning, Brandy. Good to see you. Republicans who persistently chose not to vote included Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, Eli Crane, Bob Good, Matt Rosendale, Andy Biggs. Boebert switched her vote to president to allow McCarthy to gain speakership, was upbeat about the situation, and pointed to the concessions the holdouts had won. See, this is something that the squad could have done with Nancy Pelosi. Absolutely could have. Absolutely could have. I don't want to hear anything else about it. Anyway, Boebert said January 7th, the release that the House conservatives deserved a massive victory for the American people by fundamentally changing the way Congress will operate. This is where it starts to get into the funny stuff. So we changed the bills. We changed the way bills will be passed. We changed the way government will be funded. We changed the way committees will be formed. We secured votes on term limits, fair tax, and Texas border plans, and so much more. So concession. This is one of the concessions that they did. One lawmaker can trigger speakership election. So McCarthy's tenure could be proved to be unstable after he accepted the key concession to restore the ability of a single House member to call a no confidence vote of the speaker. So it used to be 5, I believe, to be able to bring up a no confidence vote for a speaker, which the squad still could have done. But they changed it now to where only one person can do it, which I think is funny because the kind of concessions that McCarthy had to give into to get, like, these extra couple of people's votes to win, it just now it only takes one of them to do a no confidence vote, and then his speakership could be up for question. So I thought that was really, really funny that they did this to themselves, and I hope that this stays this way. I'm pretty sure that in a couple of years when the Democrats get back into the speaker, Hakeem Jeffries is probably not going to keep that around and go back to what it was, so that way he can keep his spot, because nobody even voted for Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, they did pretend like they voted for him, but pretty much it was like friendly nepotism. Nancy Pelosi pretty much just gave Hakeem Jeffries the spot with like no contest, whatsoever. So at least the Republicans are doing it the right way. Anyway, under McCarthy's predecessor, California Democrat Nancy Pelosi, a rule change was introduced, meant to mention to vacate could advance by direction of party caucus. So this move will allow McCarthy's critics to pursue a vote to remove him. Motions to vacate are rare and have been attempted twice in the House of Representatives in 1910 and in 2015, respectively. So it sounds like in 2015, Nancy Pelosi was already dealing with that. All right. So spending or limits on spending. So hardline conservatives have been concerned about the extent of federal spending, believing it's now unstable, which I agree with the spending, the crude and enormous amounts of spending that's going on in that we're doing in Ukraine. I think a lot of that money could be brought or spent here in America to benefit the people instead of seeing all of us struggle everywhere. So holdouts demanded McCarthy should commit to cutting budget spending with any vote to increase the vote ceiling According to The Hill, it's safe to say that we believe there ought to be specific concrete limits on spending attached to a debt ceiling increase, but the move could result in large cuts to defense spending, which is a good thing. A reduction that could lead to a backlash among Republican hawks. Of course, the Republican hawks. But we do need to cut defense spending. Absolutely do. Completely agree. I agree with that. Now, what I don't agree with, though, is what they're trying to do is not raise the debt ceiling. I think they were talking something about the national debt, bringing down the national debt, which is usually I'm not okay with it, because when it comes down to bringing down the national debt, it's usually us regular people, the plebeians, that have to deal with the payments, of that, with paying back down the national debt. It's us that have to deal with the brunt end of it. But if there was, a way that they could all come together and agree and vote and get it passed to where they could tax the ultra rich, the ultra wealthy, including people who own military defense companies, including Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, places like that, and tax their assets, I think that they're, then I'm okay with bringing down the debt. But as is right now, you cannot take any more from people than you already have. Like, we have already been living in austerity for so long. I mean, I don't think I've ever been out of being a poor person ever since I was a child, just struggling, just trying to be middle class has become like a lifelong persistent dedication, of trying to get there. And it's just, it's becoming more and more and more impossible. So that's where I'm not okay with that. Bringing down the debt is us. But, I get it. Like, people are all like in hooplas about debts and stuff like that. It's just, it sucks that they do it in with us having to suffer because of it. I don't care. I don't care what the debt is, but whatever. I do care about it because of the defense spending and the amount we're spending, and we keep spending. That's what does bother me. But, whatever. I understand it doesn't matter, and it's just an accounting record, and it's irrelevant. But to the people that live here and that have to see it and have to live through it and have to deal with the politicians that want to bring it down, there's got to be there is a point where a majority of people care. They care because they're the ones that are going to have to suffer from bringing down the debt, not fully ever understanding why the government is doing it. So yes, it is irrelevant to us people who understand MMT. I get it. In a way, it's irrelevant, but to the people, it's not. So there's got to be a way where we can get the people to understand and get it to be fixed the way that it should be fixed. We got to get people to understand that, yes, the debt doesn't matter, but if you're going to be mad about the debt, then be mad about how much we're spending towards rich and elites and giving them free stuff, subsidies, giving, corporations and places subsidies. I just found out that an Amazon warehouse is opening up in my hometown, Lancaster, Palmdale, California, is building an entire Amazon building out there. And why? I'm pretty sure that Lancaster Palmdale is going to be giving them free, tax-free subsidies and tax-free things to be able to do that. Why do they get to get away with it while we're being overtaxed to the point to where there is no more middle class? It's poor and rich, and that's it. Like, people are going to start worrying about the debt because the government makes it such a big deal and wanting to have to pay it down, that the people need to understand that, hey, okay, if you're going to be mad about the debt, then fucking start, there we go, cursing again, then start taxing the rich people. So that's where I'm at with that. And I'm just going to keep repeating myself because that's what I do when I start talking about things. So yes, I understand, but there is a way to be able to, coincide with regular people and get them to understand. Theoretically, bringing down the debt could be good, but the rich owner politicians always cut social services. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do, is like cut social services right now to help pay down the debt. And it's not fair. It's never fucking fair to do it that way. So, but yeah, for corporate handouts, right? You're saying we shouldn't worry about what the debt is. We just need to do correct spending, Medicare. Exactly. But we gotta get mad in some way, and the getting mad is what's going to get people fired up and put a fire under the little behind to get them wanting to do something about it, And so, if we're going to have a House majority of Republicans that are going to go on about, bringing down the debt, well then, all right, so this is where we are right now. This is where, you know, the political matrix is, and we have to live in that. So then we've got to fight fire with that and be like, all right, if you guys are going to bring down the debt, you better get Amazon, you better get Raytheon, you better get, you know, all of them. Like, I don't want to see none of my taxes increase. No more fucking taxes for me. I'm fucking, Jesus Christ, I'm going bad right now. I'm bad right now. No taxes for the regular people. No taxes for us. No increase on taxes. No doing it to us. Only to rich people. That's it. Cool. Bring down that debt. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It's a debt. I don't care about it. But do it to the rich people, not to us, please. That's all I care about. Please, not to us. So, more spending in the right place. Exactly. Yes, I agree. Republicans historically spend more than Dems, which is good, except they don't spend on the right things. Yes, surplus is actually bad. I could see how surplus could be a bad thing, because that means that people are going to be like, oh, well, there's all this extra money, so just give it away, you know? But I don't see anything wrong with the government having extra. Like how I always say, like, you know, how I read before in Firestone's book about the $100 trillion coin, like that would give us a surplus. And I don't see how that's bad. You know, it's just how we end up spending it. Do we save it? Do we use it on the regular people? Like what, you know? Yeah. Agree about correcting. Yeah, I agree about correcting too. Absolutely. So then the next concession that they were talking about was more subcommittee roles for hardliners. McCarthy hasn't publicly announced any holdouts on more subcommittee roles. Several wanted to extend their influence. Andy Harris has expressed interest in chairing the health subcommittee that controls a large amount of government spending and switched his support to McCarthy on Friday. Should McCarthy spurn loyal supporters in favor of holdouts, it could result in his own base becoming disillusioned with his speakership and weaken him further. I don't know about that. But it looks like people just want committee spots, obviously. That's, yeah, exactly. It's not bad. It's a bit more complex than that, right? Yeah, that's how the surplus disappears, is like, yeah, you know, you got all this extra money. Let's just spend, right? I agree. So the next concession would be creation of weaponization of federal government subcommittees. A key demand of McCarthy's detractors was to be given powers to review ongoing criminal investigations. Panel would be created amid ongoing arrests connected to the January 6th riot at the Capitol and criminal investigations into Donald Trump. Subcommittee members would be able to investigate executive branch agencies and pursue issues that they believe violate civil. So yeah, they're wanting like a subcommittee that gets to be like a watchdog for these committees that are looking into like Donald Trump right now, or looking into the Hunter Biden laptop stuff. So yeah, they just want their own subcommittee to be able to investigate if these committees are doing the right thing. Just, you know, you got to love it. You know, Republicans talk about a small government, but they're wanting to create subcommittees to be watchdog for committees for the House of Speaker. And this is just the House, you know? This is just the House of Representatives. It's not the Senate. It's not, you know, the presidency. It's not all three of them combined. This is the lowest house. This is the lowest part of government, the House. So another concession that they talked, yes, Kat, I know, they're all over the place right now. You'll take a committee spot. You'll do so much better, right? Right, KRTD. That's so true. So another concession they made was changes to House procedures and term limits. So less controversial demand extracted was that members should have 72 hours to review bills before they are voted on the House, which I completely agree on. I swear sometimes they would bring in like over 1,000-page bills and they would just have like a few hours to read that stuff. So I agree with the Republicans on this concession. I absolutely agree with it. Hardliners also extracted a floor vote to establish term limits for all House members. Currently, representatives serve two-year terms and are allowed to be reelected indefinitely if they have the support of their constituents. Kind of like the career politician stuff. How Nancy Pelosi has been in office forever. How even Bernie Sanders has been in office forever. You know, everybody gets equal hatred. So I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. That's definitely I go with that. But I don't want you guys to forget to so tonight, God damn it, dog. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, it looks like we're going to hear over at KRTD, we're going to be talking about all of this even more in depth. I don't know if there's, oh, there is something. Okay. So if you guys want to see, Jesus Christ, I hate doing this on my bed because my blanket is so fluffy that my mouse isn't working correctly. So if you guys want to go check them out tonight, damn, Burton, it's your own reflection in the mirror. Stop attacking it. You have a problem, bro. Oh my gosh. So right here it is, KRTD. I'm going to turn the notification on. That's the Speaker of the House, Speaker Vote 2021 versus 2023 roundtable discussion. It looks like Shane's going to be hosting this. He's going to be having Joe Firestone on and Brad Sandler. Looks like, let's see what they're going to be talking about. Don't forget you're a moderator for this channel. Thanks, YouTube. So it says what were the differences? 2021 back with the whole Nancy Pelosi and the squad thing, with the force the vote. What were the differences? Why should we care? Shane, Joe, and Brad will discuss this in a two-part panel discussion. In order to break this up into two panels, we'll have a musical intermittent halfway point. Oh, is this Jeff Epstein's going to be singing? During this musical intermission, Jeff will be performing for 20 minutes before moving into part 2 of the panel discussion. To find out about Jeff, go to his Twitter at activistmmt and at cjeffsing on both Twitter and YouTube. Jeff Epstein does have some really good music on there. The fact that they're getting multiple votes on issues, it's nuts. Progressives got nothing. So frustrating, right? Iconic Bernie Sanders clip where he is in front of a 1,000-page thing and yelling about how he didn't have a chance to read it because it was just introduced the night before. Yeah, exactly. So they're going to be talking more about this tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, which they did 4 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. PST. You guys are funny. So you always got to have somebody to look at over it to make sure, to double check that it's all right. So yeah, this is going to be on about it tonight. So, ow, kitty. I get it. You want to play with it. I get it. Leave me alone. Dude, this cat is tearing this thing up. Look. She's got a hold of it. Look. You just won't let go. Kitty. She is so cute. Hi, mamas. She's such a little pain in my ass, too, though. I mean, pain in my bum. Pain in my bum. She's a pain in my bum. I'm going to get us in trouble. So much trouble. Like I said, you guys, go check me out on Image Productions over on Twitch as well. In case I get us in trouble on KRTV on our YouTube. I swear to God, I'm going to get us in so much trouble. Okay. Is my battery not working now or something? What's going on? Okay, cool. It's a mess. All right, so I think I've got time for like one or two more, and I didn't want to not cover this because I think that this is really important to cover, and it is kind of new news. It does really upset me because it's very rare that we get at least some of the younger crowd going out there and doing good work for social justice warriors, including, what do you call it? Like, going out interviewing people, giving people a chance to speak on their own and then finding out things about them as well. Just finding hypocrisy in even the right and the left and the politics. So it's really disheartening and really upsetting to see allegations coming out towards people like this. But it's, believing women, we have to believe what the women say. We can't just automatically, images Jimmy spelled backwards. Yeah. But we've got to be able to, listen to them, hear them out, give them the benefit of the doubt. It's really interesting to me when I was going through a lot of this research. What I'm going to be talking about is the Andrew Callahan accusations that are coming out right now. Very good, Ed. Where do you see? Oh, Ed. Yeah, okay. Ed Heller, got it. It's very sad to see the allegations coming out about people, who are out there doing at least good work. But like I said, we have to believe the women. We have to hear them out, giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's really funny to watch some of these people, like I was saying, doing the research earlier, seeing some people who were, who claim to be about the Me Too movement and claim to be about listening to females. But when Tara Reid was going around talking about what Joe Biden did to her, they were all, don't believe her. But then this stuff comes out and, it's all back to believing women again. So I'm always about, believing the women, no matter what, until there are very rare cases where women come out and say these kind of things and they're not true as well. But it seems like from what this girl was showing, that these allegations are pretty solid. Burton thinks there can only be one, right? So there's a girl on TikTok and she's coming out with these allegations. Her name on there is Cornbread Casserole, Caroline Elise. These are her TikToks that she has been coming out with about Andrew. I think it's like from this one till about this one, I believe. This was the first one that she came out about it. And so
I never in a million years thought that I would be making this video, and I'm shaking because I've tried a couple different times and haven't been able to get my point across. But I don't like seeing abusers get platforms. And my abuser, Andrew Callahan, also known as All Gas No Breaks, Channel 5, and whatever his new HBO show's called, I forget, has been plastered all over my news feed. And I've tried to come to him person to person and try to get him to take accountability for what he did. But his version of what happened the night that he assaulted me is so skewed. So I will tell you that he did eventually get consent. And that's the main point, is that he eventually got consent because he wore me down. He told me he needed a place to stay for the night. He had some sort of falling out with one of his crew members or whatever. And I was very clear about the fact that we are not hooking up. He gets in my bed and wears me down to the point where I eventually do agree to do things that I wasn't proud of. And I wasn't proud of them and thought it was my fault for so long that I continued to be nice to him after the situation. He wouldn't leave my house the next morning. And then as time went on and I processed things, I thought, you know what, just because eventually I said, okay, whatever, because I was trying to just get the whole night over with so that it could be morning so that he could leave. It doesn't discount the fact that I told him no. So I told him no so many times prior to this. I said, I'm tired. I'm not really feeling it. I came up with any excuse that I possibly could to just get him off of me. And he still found a way to coerce me into things that I didn't want to do. And this is really hard for me to say. I never thought I would come forward, but it's even more hard to have to relive the trauma that I endured every single day by seeing this man as a social justice warrior, as someone who cares about human rights, get a platform. You shouldn't be supporting him. And at the end of the day, like, I've told close friends of mine, I've tried coming out about this before, and he texted me saying that it basically ruined his life and that his life was over now because of things that I said. And other women have come forward to me, but this is my first time publicly talking about it on a platform like TikTok, because I hope it gets traction. I hope people listen to me. I hope that
that's usually, like, step one is after this happens is the guy tells the girl, don't talk about this anymore. You're ruining my life. That's like narcissism on his part. Not even worrying, just because his experience was different in his mind, is different than hers, that she shouldn't be saying what she's saying because it's ruining his life. Instead of giving her the benefit of the doubt to explain her situation and her experience, which we'll see too that she actually has the proof, which sucks. It is the environment that we are in nowadays where, you do have to show at least some kind of proof. But what makes proof? Like, in that situation when it's happening, it's not like something was being recorded, that you can't prove that experience when that experience is happening. So it just sucks that we're in this environment of like, proof or I don't believe it kind of thing, which I understand as well as something that we do need, because there have been rare occasions where women do false accusations. So I understand. It just sucks that we're at this, like, at a point where it's like, you got to give us proof of that experience or we don't believe it. Like, at least it's a very, very hard thing to be able to wrap your mind around all of it and be able to accept one thing and accept the other thing, but still be mad at them at the same time, which we're capable of doing. I mean, we're human beings, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. So yeah. Yes, Les Bones. What Shaken and Warren is saying is who they are. I was thinking about going over it after this, but I wasn't sure because I just know them as what Shaken and Warren is saying. I don't really know too much about them themselves, and I didn't do a lot of research when I was looking it up last night because I was more looking into this story and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much what they are. It's just one of the sisters. So yeah. All right, let's continue.
If something similar has happened to you, that that's not your fault. It wasn't my fault what happened to me, just because I eventually caved.
Right, and she's absolutely correct. I mean, a lot of women have been in a situation, including myself too, where we were kind of coerced and forced into just saying yes after saying no multiple times. And I mean, this was even just kind of, like news to me last night, hearing about this, like this coercion of it only hit me last night of it. Like, oh, wow. Yeah. That's pretty much, assault in a way. Being like, a female or a girl saying, no, 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 no. And the guy's like, come on, to the point where she's like, all right, fine, whatever. Just hurry up and get it over with. Like, I've been in those situations myself. I just never thought that it was that, and now it's like, whoa, this girl might be, damn, Caroline, like, you might be right. Am I muted? Don't say I'm muted. Because I'm not muted. Now I'm not muted. Am I muted? That just means that my audio is not working on the computer. Oh, I'm not muted. Whew. All right. Thank you. Okay.
Hard to do, but I eventually, I was really hoping that he would eventually take accountability, but he just texted me this skewed version of what he thought had happened. And in that moment, it wasn't fight or flight, it was freeze. I froze and I couldn't control my body anymore. Not to mention, he got me really drunk that night. He was trying to buy me all kinds of the best kinds of tequila at the dive bar we were at. And a lot of people don't believe me. I've got receipts. I've got photos of us. I've got text messages, but you shouldn't need that. You should believe me and you should stop supporting Andrew Callahan. Take away his platform. He doesn't deserve it.
That's one.
I just wanted to come on here really quickly and say that I'm actually working.
And see here what I was talking about. So this person replied in her last video, put a comment. It said, so not to cast doubt on you, but could you provide receipts because I'm getting some mixed signals here. Which, I mean, even looking at it as, an open-minded perspective, giving everybody benefit of the doubt. Like, it sucks, like I said earlier, it sucks that we're at a point in this time where we need receipts. But I still understand, not wanting to just believe just a quick 3-minute TikTok video of what a girl says. That it sucks that we're at that point, but like I said, I also understand, and I'm just going to keep repeating myself about it because it's always a continuous fight as a female in my head. Like, dang, why can't we just believe it? And then, to be fully like transparent, even with like a lot of you, I don't talk about this that much because I don't really enjoy it very much. But like even in my own personal, because I have my own anecdotal evidence and my own personal experience in this kind of stuff, and I have dealt, like me personally, have dealt with what she has gone through. But I've also been on the opposite receiving end, not me personally, of all of that. So like. My husband was working in a movie set with Stormy Daniels on one of her sets, and there was a girl that was working there that was, it was during Stormy's big bump up time. You know, she was getting a lot of clout because of the whole Trump situation. And so she was making a lot of films, and there was a girl in there that didn't like her, that wanted her spot, that thought it was unfair, that she was getting all this limelight when this other girl wanted the limelight. So this girl came up with this like crazy, weird, like wild story that like she was standing in a crowd at the set, and it was like in between takes, and my husband had walked through the crowd and said excuse me, and he had his hands up because she was nude, it's standing around in the crowd, and he put his hands up and was like excuse me, but she had said that he had grabbed her and moved her and said excuse me, and so she was claiming all that stuff. Even did an article on it on the Daily Beast. That's why if you guys ever hear me talking about how I don't trust the Daily Beast, it's because they pretty much posted her story. It caused a really big ripple in mine and my husband's relationship for a while. I didn't believe him for the longest time. I thought, you know, like I was very Me Too, believe all women, you know, I still am. But then it slowly started. I even called Stormy because it was her set, you know, to ask, you know, what the hell is going on. You know, I thought she had my back. She knows that, you know, he's married. Why is he doing stuff like this? How could he? And come to find out that it actually wasn't true, that the girl was doing it to get her Stormy's crew fired, because the people, including my husband, the crew that she has that she films with, she sticks with the same crew. They're family to her, you know. They know what she likes. They know the angles. They know the lighting. You know, they know exactly what she likes as a director. So she stays and she keeps the same crew. And my husband has been on her crew for years. So this girl decided to take down Stormy by claiming sexual assault by one of her crew members, so that way it could ruin Stormy, and so that way this girl can get the limelight. Found out, you know, within like weeks and weeks afterwards, that she actually was claiming this on every set that she was going to. She was doing this to try to get a name for herself, so that more news articles interviewed her, so she would get more well known. And then I think after a while she ended up getting blacklisted out of the industry. But that's, you know, that's to where that was my own anecdotal experience, where I still have to, you know, deal with the trauma of a woman who lied because she hated another woman and tried to, you know, like lie about my husband and almost ruined our marriage because of it, because I'm a believe all women person. So it was a very hard experience for me to be like, oh, okay, there are these rare occasions where women do this. So they're all, you know, there's a lot of us still, even us women that are still all Me Too, that still have to be like, it, like I said earlier, it sucks that it's this internal battle, this internal struggle constantly of like, I have to believe all women, like it's just what we have to do. But then, you know, there's also, you know, people out there, can you provide receipts? Because I'm getting mixed signals, you know, like I want to know and I want to make sure that this is right, because this, you know, not trying to sound selfish, if it's not real, then yes, it could ruin someone's life. You know, like I said, this woman almost ruined, you know, my life, and I'm not even a part of all of that. You know, it really messed with my head, and it still messes with my head a lot. So your computer hates you. So, okay, so let's continue. I'm sorry. I just went off on a tangent with that.
With some people who have come forward in my TikTok comments and in my DMs, people who I've talked to when I first started opening up about this last year, and they're sharing their stories, but I want to make sure that they're comfortable with me sharing their stories before I move forward. As far as what happened with him and I will include, I guess, some more evidence within that. I really just kind of needed to get my word out there. I wasn't expecting to post that video. I've been going through a really hard time with all of this. People in my life know that it's affected my relationships. It's affected my life. It's been incredibly hard, and it took a lot for me to post that video in the first place. So to all of the apologists and people standing up for him in the comments, you know, I really hope that something like this never happens to you and you never have to know what it's like. I'm not going to post the receipts because I feel like you deserve them. I don't really care about Andrew at this point. My whole point in calling him out is because I want other women to feel like they have a safe space, they have a person to talk to, because I'm not the only person that this happened to.
Okay, so here is, I think, maybe one of the reasons.
In regards to the whole Andrew Callahan situation, this is the last time that I'm going to be talking about it. A friend of mine texted and asked if I was okay because she saw my post on Reddit. That wasn't me that posted on Reddit. I'm getting a lot of hate. You guys like seem to need receipts. You know, someone speaking up about their story isn't enough. So I'm going to share with you some, I guess, like evidence that I was with him that night. I didn't have a camera set up in my bedroom, so I don't know what to tell you. You're just going to have to take my word for it. And if you don't, that's okay. This is the last time I'm ever going to talk about this. And I've made my TikTok private. So if anyone wants to share what I'm saying with the people on Reddit, feel free to do that. But I can't mentally handle this anymore. This was Andrew and I agreeing to hang out.
So this is their agreement to hang out. He says, I'm in St. Pete. Who should I kick it with? She said, me. He said, you're home. I'm solo, just waiting around. So she said, yes, I just walked in the door. What part of St. Pete are you at? He said, up north. Text me.
When he was in St. Pete. This was us the night at the bar. We went into the bathroom to take a photo because this bar, the bathroom has its own Instagram page, and it's just something people do at that bar. Also, like I said many times before, I trusted him, you know, and people are blaming me for trusting him, and I did, you know, and it is what it is. This is a comment from someone who I've been speaking with.
So I think this is the next video is going to be this girl talking. So she said Andrew assaulted her as well. She'd been previously involved with him, but only when she was extremely drunk. She confronted him about it. He invited her to dinner to apologize, and then he assaulted her in her car. She had to physically kick him out. She said, thank you for sharing, F him. She said, I literally finally came out about this yesterday on my Insta because I cannot stand this dude popping up on my TV as a social justice warrior. I've also heard many similar stories from others.
About what happened to her. This is a message I got about a year ago from someone who said that he has been known to associate with underage girls. This is the story from the same person of her experience. You can pause to read any of this stuff.
Okay. Oh, wait. No, I wanted to pause to read it. Okay. So this girl said the situation that I was in was at a party probably 3 years ago. She thought it was cool at first. He had a pretty good convo, and then we basically went into a room kind of isolated from everyone, and he was really pressuring her to go to his house, and she said no multiple times. He kept pushing and pushing. Now see, this is the third story now that we've heard where he pushes himself on people that don't, or on females, the girls that don't want this. So it seems like it's almost like his MO is just to, you know, get girls alone and get them to say yes. So she said, as you know, he's a very tall guy. She's only 5'4", and she was drunk. She was feeling like he was blocking the doorway, so we were in there for a while, and then luckily her friend came to check on her.
So you can pause to read any of this stuff. This is about how...
She said, of course, I'm also still trying to gather more details, but I was a few years ahead of him at Loyola in New Orleans, and you've heard that he got canceled pretty bad, but it was kept on the DL, but that's why he was replaced on his show. See, this is just hearsay. So he knows he's aware he's one of my favorites. Yeah, this is just
how he was canceled on his French Quarter confession show when he went to Loyola because of the same sorts of allegations.
Oh.
Pause to read that. Just another.
This person went to school with him. He pulled the same stuff with a friend of hers. So like he said, she said.
Their story.
Someone told me that he told them. Oh, see, no,
got a
I
list
can't.
of women who he gets to give him head. Another instance of sexual assault. And I'm keeping these people private, and they've all consented to me sharing their stories. And I'm doing so because I've already put my face out there. I'm already getting all the hate. It is what it is at this point. Here's another story.
Just want to say in response, I've heard through the grapevine.
More people saying that they've heard about this before. Another story. My inbox is flooded with people saying that they're proud of me for speaking up because they're too scared to. So I'm sharing their stories for them. This is absolutely taking a huge toll on my mental health. I can see that a lot of you don't want to believe women when they come forward about things. And I've just got to say that says a lot about your personality and who you are. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And if you think I'm making it up, that's on you.
Right. I think now this is the other girl.
So since I've commented on Caroline's TikTok or cornbread casseroles TikTok, I've noticed a lot of people have been viewing my profile, which makes sense. So since I've commented,
So we'll watch hers. I think it's this one.
So since I've commented on Caroline's TikTok.
No.
Okay, so as I said in my last TikTok, I'm going to be talking about what happened between me, something very personal that's happened to me. I had actually posted about it publicly. I just want to, say thank you to Carol because I'm just saying.
Get to the story, girl.
Now, the main thing is that, people are like, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? It's already a really difficult thing to talk about. Anyways.
I guess I should have done a little bit more research before time.
This is not the worst thing that has happened to me. I've experienced worse. Most women experience some type of sexual, like a snippet of a video of him or something, and I would immediately just like scroll. Is on my TV. Anyways, I have a lot to say, and I have a whole story, but I don't want this to be dragged out for too long because I wouldn't believe it anyways. But I was like, free food, whatever.
Okay, cool. Finally getting to the
story. I don't hang out with you anymore. I don't want to sleep with you ever. In demanding, in brief, say that I had hooked up with Andrew. Dragged out for too long because I want people to pay attention to what I'm saying. So I'm just gonna, in brief, say that I had hooked up with Andrew previously. He creeped me out, made me feel weird, was mean, demanding. He hit me up again after this time to hang out with me again, and I said, no, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. I don't want to sleep with you ever again. Asked me why. I told him why. He invited me to go out to dinner so he could apologize. So I went to this dinner because honestly, I don't care about an apology because I wouldn't believe it anyways. But I was like, free food, whatever, Turns out he invites me to a really shitty diner. Like, I've never been to a diner this shitty. This is besides the point. But
yeah, hashtag first world problems, bitch. Come on.
Like, what the fuck? It's not that hard to fuck up breakfast food. Anyways, so I go to the dinner. He's not really talking to me. And then I'm like, so did you have something you wanted to say? And he's like, oh yeah. Do you want to have sex in your car after this? And I was like, No, I don't. Is there anything else you want to say? And he was like, oh, yeah, sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. Are you joking? You really don't want to have sex in your car after this? And he asked that like probably 5 more times. Like, you're joking, right? Like, you want to have sex in your car after this, right? And I was like, no. So I told him I would take him home because he lived close by, but that I did not want to have sex in my car at all. I did not want to have sex with him again, ever. And after we got to my car, he started advancing towards me, started touching my inner thigh, and pulled me forward and started kissing my neck. So I really couldn't move out of the position. He was holding me like tightly. And
Right. So putting her in a position where she couldn't do anything about it because she was driving. So she's, got her life and his life in the palm of her hands. And yeah. So that way she can't really stop him from doing things because she's distracted by driving, which she should be.
Proceeded to put his hand down my pants. I told him to stop. I told him to get off of me multiple times. He tried to put my hand down his pants, and I was, fighting against him during this, told him to please stop. And he said, you could at least suck my dick. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. Get out of my car. At that point, it was, I'm not taking you home anymore. Get the fuck out of my car. And he...
You go, girl. Like, see, that's the kind of shit. That's what I would say. Get the out of my car.
It just got mad, really. He was mad that I would even say that, but at the same time, he was laughing at me and continued to try to kiss me and was like, are you serious? Come on. Yeah, it was not fun. So I told him to get out of my car again. He wouldn't get out. And he said, you could at least take me home. So I realized at this point, I would not be able to physically push him out of my car. So I started driving quickly and erratically down the road. I pulled into a busier street and I stopped abruptly, thinking, like maybe someone will realize something is wrong, or if someone is honking at me, like he'll feel uncomfortable and want to leave the car. But I guess it did make him uncomfortable that I did that. And I told him to get the fuck out of my car. And he was like, can I at least get a kiss goodbye? And I said, fuck no, get the fuck out. He left. Never spoke to him or saw him again.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Hey everyone.
really,
So,
I could believe that. Like, that's
yeah,
what's the crazy one is like, just because I can feel like that's what I would do, I could feel like that's what happened, too. So I don't know. These girls are showing receipts. That girl showed that she was with him. She has a picture with him, and that he was going to come over and stay with her. So
it's been a lot. I know that.
I don't think that there's any more of on here. I just want to show
when we first started DMing. Yes, I messaged him first. I know y'all are gonna come for me about that. I really don't care. I thought he was cute at the time. He asked where the best pho was in New Orleans. Yeah. not my finest moment, but I'm being honest, and obviously it's embarrassing.
Happy New Year, Rivethead. Good to see you over on Twitch. Thanks for stopping by in the Twitch area. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. I didn't even open up Twitch today. I feel so bad. Like anybody could be doing anything on Twitch right now, and I wouldn't even know. I would not even know. Here we go. Now I've got it open. Oh, thank you for saying hi and Happy New Year.
Further goes to show that I have nothing to gain from this.
He said I requested. She said you as well. I accepted. What's up with you now? What do you mean it's 1:30 on a Tuesday? You wild. He said it'd be like that. She said I feel that. 8 a.m. class though. Said same.
Added each other. He asked me what I was doing. I said I have class, whatever. More bullshit. He asked me when we're chilling. I said, when you free? He says, right now. And I mean, I don't know how important this actually is to you people, but here's us making an appointment, I guess, a date, an appointment just to meet up. And then after this, I was like, can I give you my number? I gave him my number. Obviously, I'm not going to show y'all the number. It's an old phone number, so all the text messages between us, I don't have access to anymore. Here's another time of him saying, what are you doing tonight? I said, I'm studying. And I said, are you going to come to the library? He said, can't we study at your place? You know, it's a common line. He would actually ask to spend the night a lot, as if like he didn't have a place to stay, which was weird. Can we study at your place? Yeah, whatever, sure. So anyways, yeah, here's the proof or whatever that I know him in the first place. Some people think that maybe he doesn't know me at all. Well, he could say he doesn't know me if he wants to, but he does. So this is
there it is. I mean these girls are showing the proofs, you know. They're showing that, you know, that they've met him, that he's, you know, gone to their house, you know, he's planning to go to their house. So, you know, in all, to me at least, they seem believable. And like I was saying earlier, it's kind of sad that it's happening this way, because this guy, this kid, this Andrew kid, was doing such good work. You know, being able to to get these guys on their hypocrisy and shit. So like, I mean, if you, I know I'm not the only one out here feeling like this as well, because I mean, like, there's just people up and down talking about how they're upset. Like, see, Andrew, how could you, you know, because he was doing good work, and this is crap, you know. It sucks. So you just saw the Callahan news. You know, the allegations against Channel 5 are such a bummer. Like, it sucks because he was really doing some good work, and like, yeah, like we got, you know, believe her, because, you know, she is believable. They've got the proof. They put out the receipts, you know. So yeah, we just I wish he would come up with something. I mean, he's had all day yesterday to come up with a you know, a comment on it, anything. But it doesn't seem like he's doing anything or saying anything. I just saw this too. Like, I've always appreciated his work. This is Tucker Carlson. Or maybe no. Oh, it's a parody. Okay. You always give me weird vibes. Always thought there's no way this guy's in a total creep in some way. God, I'm still impeccable at assessing vibes. See, because that's the weird thing too. Like, all right, I'll get into my little like conspiracy, thing as well. Like he gave me the vibes, the weirdo vibes. Absolutely. I believe what was it? He went on. Where did he recently go on? Hassan Piker, and it was really interesting because you're super, super right. Like I felt the same thing. Like
there's a big problem, I think, with like
check this
punditry
out.
in mainstream media.
Like,
And, if you turn
okay, like I said though, this is my own conspiracy. This is my own conspiracy theory. So don't be coming at me, with crazy stuff. But if you watch him, he does give the creep vibes, okay? Like even with no words, just watch him. When he first comes on, here, wait. Look at that. Look at that. Not even no words. I'm not going to bring the audio into this or anything like that, but look at, you can't tell me he doesn't give you the creep vibes. Exactly, Brandy. When you grow up around creeps, you tend to be able to sense them. And somebody who has worked in bars during pretty much my entire 20s, I've seen a lot of creeps. And because I'm always, when I watch this kid, I watch him on his own shows when he's interviewing people. Like, so that awkward, creepy weirdness about him is, I figured it was just like this character that he was playing. Like, I knew he was, a little awkward and, weird, but I only saw it in character mode when he was doing his bits for the shows that he was doing, So, he had like the suit, the tan weird, like thrift store clothing, it kind of went with like the whole character of him. But like seeing him just chill and hang out normally with like a friend like Hassan, this is when I was like, oh, there's something weird I kind of feel about this guy. So yeah, I got the vibe for sure. Isn't that fake socialist game, dude? That's so mean. Well, I hope that one day all of us independent media people could make enough money to where we can live happily and still be socialist. I mean, yes, I believe that Hassan has become a little bit of a shit lip a little bit. But I don't like when people go around calling him a fake socialist just because he made a lot of money. Yes, he's a Nepo baby, of course, and that's obviously what helped him out. But, how are us plebeians ever going to get help for social justices if we don't have some allies with a little bit of spare change? If you understand where I'm getting at. So, yes, he's a little bit of a shit lib, but if he calls himself a socialist and he's doing the right things, I don't see anything wrong with, having an ally with financial means. So you never liked the dude. Yeah. I don't really care. For him. I don't watch him religiously or anything, but we are as females, because this media industry is just saturated in men, that it's really hard to find decent, at least genuine, nice people who are still real at the same time. So I do tend to watch him a little bit here and there. Like I watched this video when it came out because I was really interested in seeing what Andrew's HBO thing was about. I was really interested in wanting to know, but this is when I started noticing that Andrew had kind of like a little weird vibe. But Hassan, Yeah, he can get super annoying. He's, like what, barely 30 years old. So he's still like, mentally in his 20s. So he's like, got a little bit of immaturity to him. But at least he's like a decent guy, At least there's not very many in the media sphere out there that's got some views and some power that aren't just straight up douchebags, it's very, 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 very hard. So, plus he knows people that I know too. Like he's in the adult industry circle. He knows a lot more intimately, more of them than I do. I just know them business wise. So he is a little bit of a hoe, but at least he's a respectful hoe. So, yeah, there's receipts for the allegations. Wait, I don't have them, but they're out there. I don't like shit lives. I don't like him. Like the dude or not, the left can't have some impassable purity test if we are ever going to make serious progress in the U.S. I agree. I absolutely agree. Like I always say, people, when we live a certain way, life is like a pendulum. So when you live a certain way for a certain long period of time, and then the opposite of the mentality comes out, it swings that pendulum super hard the other way. And so we've got to just find this middle ground. And as of right now, yeah, there is even the Me Too movement, as well as, not all men too kind of thing. Like there's going to be eventually this middle ground where we're going to have this generalized acceptable area, gray area. As of right now, it's just very black or white. I see the problems in that as well. That's why I wanted to go over a lot of this. And like I said, calling Andrew a creep and stuff, that's only my own conspiracy of how I feel. And when it comes to facts and allegations, my feelings are not valid. So, especially being an outsider, my feelings are definitely not valid. But, the girls showed the receipts of the fact that they were, in cahoots with him or went in talks with him, and that he did come and stay the night with them and stuff, and like they were saying earlier that, it's kind of unfair that, that women have to come out with the receipts, because it's very hard in that moment to have receipts. Like when you're experiencing that situation, the assault situation in that moment, it's very hard to have receipts. You're not just going to pull out your phone and start videotaping or something like that, or get a written form, or a written thing about it afterwards, from the guy or anything like that. But, just by the way that those girls were talking and then showing the text messages back and forth, I have gone through that myself. I have seen stuff like that myself. So it's a little bit easier for me to believe them on that. Plus my own personal feelings about Andrew. I could be wrong. I absolutely could be 100% wrong. And if I am, then I will obviously re-show this video later on and I will apologize for it. It just, this is kind of like the area that we're at right now. These girls have already gone through their own situation and had, people out there who don't believe them asking for receipts, and they showed their version of the receipts that they could have, could have. So, we'll see what happens. I just wanted to go over it today and talk about it, just to kind of get it out there if it is true too. Like, what if it is true, and then nobody talks about it, and then he just keeps on living his life and continuously gets away with it, just like, Epstein and Cosby and all the rest of those, really, big guys. I mean, Andrew's starting to become, very popular face. He just got a show on HBO, or a little documentary up on HBO. So his face is starting to get out there. So, this kind of comes along with the stuff too, is like, you got some explaining to do, so I understand, and it sucks. And that's why I'm trying to get KRTD to get some other people to do some shows on here, because I do not want to be the face of KRTD, because, people are going to judge me for the things that I've done in my past. So I understand when it comes to speaking out about your truth. So, yeah, I understand it. So, I like white pizza. I know I know. I know. I like white pizza. Warren calls me a racist when I say I like white pizza. So cruel. So cruel. Just the cruelest man ever. I promise. So yeah. That's that story. I can bring up that what is it? The diamond thing, right? What was it? What were the ladies' names? Diamond something. Diamond and Silk. Yeah. All all pizzas matter. That's right. It's racist that her headphones. I know. I don't know why. I think it, to me, it's like it looks clean, you know? It reminds me of like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just pretty to me. Like white with other colors. Like my headphones are white and purple. So, you know? And like the white pizzas with the spinach on it, it's got that white and green with like the brown crispy crust. It's pretty. It's just a pretty color. Like off whites and whites. Pretty color. I'm not sure what the most controversial take is today, liking white pizza or Sunbiker. Well, with the way that this comment section is, it's probably going to be pizza. Did you not see Twitter yesterday? They were the master headphones. I did not say that these were master headphones. Yeah, Warren's a jerk. All right, I'm already going overtime just because I'm giving us some extra stuff to hang out with and talk about. So don't sit here and start no shnikes, okay? Extra Blade eats poo. I'm so glad I don't show some of these comments. I'm going to show that one. Boo, yeah. Oh no. Is my stream not working? Did he break it? Did he break it? Did I say too many curse words? Oh no. Oh no, no, no. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Oh, don't scare me like that. I'm like waiting to be canceled, waiting for a strike, waiting for the stream to shut down like every second you broke wind. So yeah, Diamond and Silk yesterday. American Heart Association study shows link between. Oh, what does that have to do with? What does it have to do with anything? Oh, because I'm in like the latest. I need to go to the top. That's what it was. Late November, she was hospitalized due to COVID. The duo was fired by Fox a couple years ago for spreading. Diamond has passed away. Keep Silk in your prayers. Let's see what this.
Terrence. Terrence there. How you doing? Okay, Terrence. Terrence there.
Lynette Hardaway, aka Diamond, from the MAGA Trump supporting duo, died from contracting what she called a hoax. Did she die of Kofifi? Diamond and Silk greatest moments. All right, let's
I don't get my news from CNN for the same reason I don't eat out of the toilet.
Diamond. So Diamond is the one that passed. She's the one with the black longer hair. The lady with the blonde tips with the shorter hair is the one that's still alive. So it's her that passed. They definitely have an infectious laugh. I'll give them that much for sure. The whole Roger Stone thing is gross though. Sending Lauren Boebert sending her love and prayers. Oh, look at it. She's copying AOC. Except this is just at a little pool party, it looks like. So this is this is Diamond right here, the one with the long black hair. She's the one that passed. I don't think it's probably Kofifi, so. But I mean, nobody's even talking about it except for the right, or I mean, for the left-wing people. So, oh, so okay, Fox fired Silk Diamond in 2020 promoting disinformation because Diamond and Silk are held at a higher standard than whoever was president back then. I have some haters on here. Very outspoken brand. I mean, the lady passed, like, Jesus Christ. Ooh, what? Scott Thornton show is suspended? I don't know who that is either. Just stay away from, yeah, I know, right? I should just stay away from the topic. First appearance on stage with President Trump before he was elected. This is 2015. This was their first time on first appearance with Trump. Aw, you look so happy. I didn't put any volume on, you guys. Sorry. I didn't even watch it. I just watched it with no volume. One of North Carolina's conservatives' tallest pines has fallen. Shocked of the passing. My deepest prayers are with the family. Yeah. So that's what happened. I guess, yeah, it doesn't matter. And it's literally just the left wing that's out there, like, you know, saying stuff. Which, if it was somebody on the left wing that passed, they would be saying, you know, it's the jibber jabber that did it to them. So it's a back and forth. People are going to politicize it, and it's wrong doing that because somebody passed. So, yeah, it's crazy. People dunking over person, right? Who died? People dunking over person over their refusal to take an effective, possibly deadly experimental jab is misinformation and cruel. Right. Exactly. But people are going to politicize it, so you gotta be careful what I say on here. People are wrong. People are so wrong. We had some great times. Forever gonna miss you. Aw, that's so sweet. They really did love them some Trump. It's sad. It's really sad. Diamond and Silk put up, world just lost a true angel and warrior, patriot for freedom, love, and humanity. Please respect the privacy. Contributions towards preserving her legacy are only being accepted at the following link, and then that would be the link for it. So people are really upset about it. Understandably, she passed away. You know, she's still a human being, so yeah. There, I covered it for you. You happy, Lust Bones? What else? Well, today is Tuesday, right? So there should be some shows going on today. Thanks for hanging out in the Twitch chat, you guys, over there on Twitch right now. You guys are keeping me alive. I'm excited. Thank you. Let me see what shows are going to come on today. I know I was talking about that one earlier, the speaker vote one. Now, it's not showing up in the broadcast in StreamYard for future broadcasts, but it is Tuesday. So I think Joe Evans should be having a show at some point today as well, probably around 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. If it's not 5, it should be 6, because that way it'll give 4 p.m., give them 2 hours for the vote one, so that way they can do them 4 p.m. Central. Yeah, that's right. 4-3-2. So in about 30 minutes, Harlan's Media is going to be on in about 30 minutes or so, a little bit more than 30 minutes. And then Chicago Coroner, so that's 7:30, 6:30, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern is going to be Chicago Coroner with Jerry. Definitely don't want to miss that one. That one's going to be a lot of fun. We definitely love to go hang out over at Jerry's show too. We've been having a lot of fun over there. It's been a blast. So, yeah. But I know at 4 p.m. Pacific, there's going to be the Speaker Vote 2021 with Shane, Joe Firestone, and Brad. Is it Brad Sandler, I believe? Oh, okay. Your friend sent it to you and was surprised that you didn't know who Diamond and Silk were. Yeah. That's interesting that you didn't know who they were. Wait, what are you sending, Warren? What you putting in there? Oh, thank you. Yeah, for the Speaker Vote video. You're awesome. Cool. Thank you, Warren. So yeah, at least go do notifications so you guys can check that out. At least go give Shane some love, some support over there for talking about this roundtable discussion. Yes. And then Joe should be putting it up at some point. I don't see it in the backstage in StreamYard, the setup for his show, but some point today too, Joe Evans will be coming on for a cup of Joe as well. I'm probably not, I might clip this up. If I do clip it up, I'm only going to release like 1 or 2 things. But there's so much going on today with the shows over here at KRTD that I don't even know if I should. We'll see if I feel like it. Maybe I'll just not. I don't know yet. We'll see. So yeah, I want to thank everyone for coming today. Warren, Les Bones, Ed, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you being here too. Ghost Art, thank you for saying hi and coming by. Good vibes as usual. Shake and Bacon, thank you, buddy, for coming. Rivet Head, thank you for coming over and hanging out over at the Twitch, as well as JWheat27. Really like your guys' input. I really love to see everybody's differences of opinions on anything, even with Hassan Piker, because it's just Hassan Piker. He's a Nepo baby anyway, so yeah, no, definitely like feel you on that. Brandy, thank you for stopping by. Rick Solis, thank you for coming by and saying hi and showing support. You're awesome. I will probably see you somewhere in a comment section or in a chat somewhere like I did last night. So good to see you up in here. KRTD Media, that's Shane. Thanks for stopping by. Of course, Holly, you are awesome. Thank you for checking up on me and the weather today. I will text you back as soon as this is done. I saw it like right before I came on stream today, so I couldn't text you back, but thank you so much. Oh, Les Bones, I didn't know you put fam. I love that. Lana, thank you for stopping by and reminding me about the show tonight. I wasn't sure if it was going to be tonight or next week, so I wasn't sure. Cape Socialist, thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing great out there. I believe that is everyone. Yes. Okay. Cool. Oh, and Cape Socialist is still here. Thank you, Cape Socialist. You're absolutely awesome. Oh yes, Marcus Cage from the Political Matrix, which that's why I was laughing earlier when I said it, because it reminded me of Marcus. He's going to be on Extra Booyah's show on Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Thursday, not Thursday. I mean, Thursday too. If that's how you pronounce it, by all means, call it Thursday. I'm cool with that too. But yeah, go and check out Warren's show on Thursday night with Marcus Cage. I believe this coming up Sunday, I'm going to be on the Political Matrix myself. So definitely go and give them a follow. Look it up. It's called the Political Matrix on YouTube. They also are on Rockfin and Rumble, I believe, so as well. Good to see you, Lula. Oh yeah, Lula's here too. Yay! Hi, Lula. Oh, thank you for saying hi before the end, and thank you for lurking all day. I appreciate you, and I love you guys. Mwah. I hope you guys had an amazing, amazing holiday. I hope you guys had an amazing New Year. Anything that you guys were celebrating, I hope it went really well. I hope everybody's doing well and happy out there. I absolutely adore you guys. You guys are amazing. Yeah, it's Klingon Thursday. Exactly. All right. So I'm going to get out of here because now I'm just dragging my little tushy tush. And I will, I am not going to go out with some Star Trek banner comments sitting there on my outro when I leave. You got me messed up, Warren. Not going to happen. I saw the trick. You ain't going to get away with it. No, none of that for me. Star Wars, baby. It's all about the Star Wars. Peace out.